Hey guys, it's Kathy Anderson here, and another day of Awareness Sundays where we spotlight nonprofit leaders and their nonprofit and a lot of the work that they do within the communities. I'm specifically choosing the smaller nonprofits. A lot of times you all don't know about them, but just see the hard work that they do and the impact that is made in the community. The one I have today, I've been knowing for a little bit. He just happens to be a co-founder of Recycle and Reinvest. And this is actually in the local area of Nashville. I know he's ventured out, or the organization has ventured out to Memphis as well. So it kind of gives you an idea of how, even when you make impact within your community, you can expand and you should be ready to scale up with your organizations. As I say all the time, we do not have enough. We especially do not have enough effective ones. Sometimes you all can work together, even if you have your own nonprofit, and there's just not enough for the amount of young people and just people that are hurting all over the world. Actually, it takes this type of structure to be able to hone in the kind of help that you want or need, and it's part of the system. So when we learn to work that part of the system, we can go out there and impact the community on large scales. So you all know I can go on and on and on. And I am the owner of A&E Coaching Group. And as I said, I specialize in working with nonprofit leaders, but I'm also just a general business consultant and coach. So I work with both for profit and nonprofit. So we will bring on, and it just, to me, if you guys know what Judah means, I just automatically want to say King Jaffee Judah. He's used to being addressed that way anyway. So, you guys, let's just bring him on in because I am definitely excited. Here we go. There you
Peace,
go.
peace, 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 peace.
Peace. Look, peace and a storm. A true
Peace and
lion.
light.
Y'all
Thank you
know
for having me
I'm
on
all for.
today.
Hmm.
Thank you for having me on today. This is
Oh,
super dope.
yeah. I'm honored and always humbled. And I tell them all I have a special place because I got two sons, and I know one of my sons just kind of hooked on to you and just love to see what you were doing in the community. And we talk about you often. So I'm going to shut up for a little bit, and I want you to just, in general, I always say as deep as you want to go or however you want to go. He's spoken word and poetry. I'll say poetry first, and just master of that language. So you guys, this is the mild side of him today, I'm sure. So tell us, who is Jaffee Judah?
I am the spark Tupac predicted. I'm from East Nashville by way of Madison. I have to say, my favorite place to be in the world is in the hearts and minds and prayers of the ones I leave impact on. And my life mission is to always aim to motivate millions through leadership, law, and lifestyle. I'm not. I think I met your son at an event,
Yep.
um, and I don't remember which event now exactly because after we met that first time,
Yeah.
we've kind of always kind of seen each other, and it's always been good energy and passing. So like, but as I mentioned, like I said, I'm from East Nashville, and I've before we started Recycle and Reinvest, I actually volunteered for a lot of other different organizations in the Nashville area, uh,
Mhm.
such as like From the Heart, Salvation Army, um, many others. So thank you for this. I want to say thank you for this opportunity, and I look forward to going forward with this interview.
Yeah. Like I said, you guys, he's being mild, okay? He's done a lot. And I think that's how I knew, because I had gone to another event, and then I think Matthew showed up. We're like, wait a minute, I've already met him. That's what my son said. So, just when you're doing that community, sometimes we always say, oh, there's nobody doing anything. No one's helping in the community. But this one right here, I see everywhere. So that's how you know people are
Thanks.
working. So, like I said, you went kind of mild, but just we want to know who you are too. Like, are you a father? Are you married? Just kind of give them an idea and perspective as a nonprofit leader. You're still a human being too.
Facts. And I am the executive director of Recycling Invest.
Okay.
Um, we are a local sustainability nonprofit whose mission is to cultivate the next generation of environmental leaders through art, education, and environmental upkeep.
Hmm.
Um, we got our start, and we're most known for doing community cleanups every month. Right
Hmm.
now, we're servicing the South Nashville area.
Okay.
We've been committed to doing community cleanups in the neighborhood, starting in East Nashville back in like 2013 under
Oh.
a different name, and we wasn't even really an organization at that point.
Mhm.
And we'll get into a little bit about that, about my journey and into actually starting Recycle Reinvest in 2018. So when
Mhm.
we actually chartered in Nashville, Tennessee. Um, but yeah, so we pretty much we have our biggest presence with doing community cleanups in the South Nashville area. We've also
Mhm.
migrated to the North Side, collaborating and partnering with 200 Man Stand. Shout out to 200
Okay.
Man Stand, as well
Yeah.
as Elks Lodge, Flash
Okay.
Me Experience. Um, Collaborating with these different organizations and different businesses
Mhm.
to bring a environmental cleanup committee for Jefferson Street.
Mhm.
Um, um, what's his name, brother Otis, had brought it to our attention how the North Side was needing some attention.
Mhm.
In the on the Jefferson Street area, as we know, as also like a black mecca, for Nashville.
Right.
Like most of it's like the black hub, rather. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, for
Yeah.
for people in Nashville and the
Yeah.
original Music City Row.
Right.
Because of the Jubilee Singers, and we wanted to do something together. Um, the where we can alleviate some of that trash in the alleyways and some of the
Mhm.
streetways, because we know, as an organization, that the cleanest neighborhoods are most often the most safest neighborhoods. And I these neighborhoods, they were working in, get neglected the most because either people don't have, enough boots on ground to to
Mhm.
to actually do the cleanups, or not enough people just focus on
Mhm.
beautifying their neighborhood or their community. So that's why we're here, to take care of that.
Okay. Okay. I do want to hit on the cleanup of the community, because actually Jefferson Street was not just the music, but it was the booming economy for just
Hmm.
we were redlined most of the time. So for blacks in general, it was the Wall Street for here in Nashville. And a lot of people only know about one school, but we do have what, three HBCUs
Three
right on
HBCUs.
that same street, going up and down it. So just why? How does that, like, even for young people? I kind of want to say it, but I want to let you say it. How does
Hmm.
that connect, like in the minds of the young people that you're dealing with? That why would they want to clean up? Because it sounds it's one thing to say let's beautify it, but what is that part? What does it do for that young person to clean up their neighborhood?
I would say for that young person, we're able to show them how to become the change they want to see.
Mhm.
And it's also in the sense of with the community cleanup, is also oftentimes immediate.
Mhm.
Once they're able to see that we take the pictures of before, and we're out there, while we're out there picking up the trash, and we're separating
Mhm.
things, that the cans from the plastics and the cardboard, we're separating and we're collecting, and where they're not only just beautifying the neighborhood, but they're also learning on how to
Mhm.
create a waste less space.
Right.
And over a course of time, as they stay committed to this type of servitude, it will help promote forward thinking and critical thinking skills when it comes to being involved with others, as well as
Mhm.
just being more conscientious of their actions and how they treat the earth, I would
Yeah.
say. But it
Yeah.
starts, but it's the small change, and the small change is just they get to see the change they want to become immediately by picking
Yeah.
up trash and moving as a leader.
Right, right. And that's huge. As we talk about weather, I know with the kids, like you said, it's that small change, but knowing that this whole sustainability as well as the climate change, they're taking part in that. Because I know even as young person, like,
Right.
what does that mean with that plastic? Why are we doing recycling? No, you're
Mm-hmm.
actually affecting the whole wide world. And I guess my key term would be sense of ownership. I think sometimes we're so much saying, when are they going to do this? When are they going to clean up our neighborhoods? When are they
Right.
that? But
Right.
we notice in the high end or the high income level neighborhoods, one little old person is out there picking up the trash, even in the middle of the
Mm-hmm.
street. So I love to even know that you all are out there doing that. And I know it does a lot for those young people. Now, you skipped around it because I still want to, I know we're highlighting the nonprofit leader, but just your day to day, do you have take care of a family?
Oh well, my day to day. I
And I'm
don't
talking
have
about
any.
your personal family, not that,
Yeah,
not recycle invest, because I want them to see these are human beings that are going and wanting to
facts.
impact the community.
No, true. I get what you're saying, and I don't have any children right now, but I do have a little sister. I take care of my little sister, and I live with my girlfriend. We live together. It's a
Okay.
family unit.
Okay.
Um, that is my family right now, and that is the tribe that I'm leading for and providing
Yeah.
for and protecting.
Yeah.
Um, Day to day, I am a youth mentor.
Okay.
I'm a youth mentor, and I'm also a poet. I go into I work for Southern Word, and I'm able to through Southern Word, I'm able to go into the juvenile detention centers, and I'm able to
Mm.
help youth um, transform some of the harm that was either conflicting upon themselves, or help the youth be able to better understand the emotions and what
Mhm.
their thinking patterns and what they've been going through
Mhm.
the tools of restorative justice.
Mhm.
And once we have our healing circles in that juvenile detention center, is one of the
Mhm.
methods that we use as a way to um, communicate the healing to the child.
Mhm.
We go into a writing we go into a writing activity,
Oh wow.
and sometimes that writing activity turns into a poem. Sometimes it turns into a rap song. Sometimes it just turns to a beat. Sometimes it just may be a positive affirmation, a positive agreement with yourself that you can tell
Mhm.
yourself daily to keep you, focused. Because, these things work when it comes to
Yeah.
trying to transfer that that pain into more so of that pain and hurt into transfer it into healing, transfer it into a way of understanding.
Yeah.
Why are we doing what we're doing? Why are we thinking the way we're thinking? So day by day, I'm pretty much in a juvenile detention center most, if I'm not doing something in the community, or
Mhm.
playing my executive director CEO role. um
Okay.
and I'm also an author. During the pandemic, I had lost my job, and
Mm.
got inspired to complete a book.
Okay.
And it's definitely the start of many more to come, I would say.
Mhm.
But my first book is a poetry book, poetry, pictures, and different quotes that I've
Okay.
collected from the years of 15 to like 28.
Okay.
Put that like in a book, and shared it with the world. And also I wanted to create the book to show the youth in the juvenile detention center that I work with as
Yep.
a way to approach writing. My poetry is very different. I have poems, talking about hustling. So I got poems talking about, waiting on Papa, by my father. I have
Mhm.
poems talking about depression. So it's like I want them to, I have poems about love. You know what I'm saying? Like I want them.
Right.
I wanted to create the book to
Yes.
show them, like, hey, poetry doesn't have to be Emily Dickinson. Poetry
Right.
doesn't have to be Langston Hughes, and
Right.
poetry is like, however you choose to communicate that,
Yeah.
you can do that. And there's an
Yeah.
audience for it. You get what I'm saying? I also
It
want to let
is.
them know that there's an audience for it, because a
It
lot of
is.
times I think youth deal with you know not wanting to be judged for their
Right.
opinions, or not wanting
Right.
to be held so harshly accountable, you
Yeah.
know for things that they're still just trying to figure out themselves. So
Yeah.
um yeah, that's why
Yeah.
that was the inspiration behind that book, and they're the inspiration behind, man, my life.
Okay.
For
How
real,
do we
for real.
get to the book? How do we purchase the book?
The book is available right now on Amazon.
Okay.
um It'll soon be available in stores, in local stores, Akibalon and PSV.
Okay.
We're speaking that to existence in 2022, and we're working that way.
All
So
right.
yes,
You
uh,
spoke it now, so it's done. I'll help you with that.
indeed.
That's an easy one.
And also created a podcast during
Yes.
the pandemic, and we're finally about to get our launch this year.
Right.
Um, and this podcast was a way for us to prioritize Black and Brown voices.
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of times in the nonprofit sector, I've noticed how a lot of our problems face um, a lot of the problems that we're focused on face
Mhm.
disenfranchised communities, and we're often not as represented as we should. So I
Right.
kind of want to start strengthening those relationships and
Yep.
um, bringing those voices to a podcast and to a platform that
Mm-hmm.
we can keep in rotation, consistent rotation. You know,
Yeah.
for the youth that we not only working with in the juvenile detention center, but also just for people who are following along on our journey. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it's
Mm-hmm.
important that you get a chance to meet some of these great, like you're just like you're doing. You know, I think it's important that we get a
Yeah.
chance to meet some of these people and meet some of these have communication around these relationships that are help building or furthering our careers, or help sustaining others careers.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's why Black Blood Voices was created. And like I said, we want to prioritize black and brown faces, but
Yeah.
we're not turning away
Right.
our counterparts, but we do want to make it known that
Yeah.
black and brown is the priority on this show.
Well, we don't have
Yeah,
enough platforms. So yeah,
because we
I
do
get
not have enough platforms,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
and
So it's
and we don't
okay.
have to be ashamed about
Mm-mm.
loving ourselves. You get what I'm
No.
saying? Like, we really don't have
We
to
don't.
be. I feel like we're in a new time where it's supported,
Mm-hmm.
and I definitely want to be a part of that tribe
Yeah.
who is doing what we can to uplift and promote the
Right.
voices that need to be heard.
Right. And then you know what? Because how old are you?
I'm 30.
30, right? Okay, so you're a baby to me. But I want to say, when you think about nonprofits or someone being a founder of it, you don't think about somebody really under 40. You definitely don't think about somebody 30 and under. So to me, this speaks volumes. So how this is the best way. If you have a young person that's contemplating doing the wrong thing or continuing on that journey, you would give them hope so they can see, hey, he's cool when he's here, he talks like us, but he knows how to carry himself on various platforms. So I think
Right.
this speaks volumes just by your presence and what you're doing with our young people. Because as much as I might, I'm over 50. So as much as I want to try to get a young person, I can speak, but they're always going to look at me like a mother or, whatever. But as their peer, statistically, that works better. So they have to see people that look like them that are not doing what they're doing when it comes to the wrong side, because that's what
Right.
failed many of us. We see,
Right.
we see the people out here doing things. So instead of, like you said, you're being that change. Because sometimes we'll say, well, and I hate to say the religious world, but a lot of times that's where it is. And they'll say, well, such and such was doing this and that and the other. But you know what? When we can say, okay, be who you are, but
Mm-hmm.
still make sure you're taking care of you. And as a male, taking care of your family. I'm still gonna always be a little more traditional when it comes to that. I just think the strength that you all have and what you're able to do, you're able to care for like you are your family. Your girlfriend's still your family. Your sister is definitely your family. So whatever that is, whatever that looks like, and I wanted you to bring that out because I don't want anybody to be ashamed of that either. Just whoever it
Right.
is, go together, grow together, take care of each other as a unit, right? That's really
Mm-hmm.
all it's about. Because marriage is a whole nother world. That's a whole nother thing. You can argue one way or the other if it's wrong or right, but at the end of the day, what are we doing to work together? And you are a
Right.
great example of that. So that's once again, that's why I really, really wanted to highlight what you do. And for anybody that I know, when they're in this world right here, you can't say anything bad. Like none, because you're taking care of a whole nother community where you don't have to. So
Right.
that
Man.
is that's amazing. That's
And
amazing.
the way that we actually got started in the community as
Mm-hmm.
far as South Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
and I thank you for that too. I thank you that the way we
Mm-hmm.
got started in South Nashville is like we had people in that community coming to us, people who lived in
Mm-hmm.
JC, and they were
Okay.
like, "Yo, I want to," because our co-founder is from JC Napier or
Okay.
lives in JC Napier, and she and a few other neighbors that she knows, they came. They was like, "Yo, we want to help. We heard what you was doing out east. Let's
Mm-hmm.
Is it a way we can get together out south?" And we came together. The east went out south, and we came together, and we ended up both deciding that we want to do recycle reinvest as a way to
Mm-hmm.
address gun violence and also introduce people to healthy and sustainable. I mean, healthy and eco-friendly lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only do we commit to community cleanups and that, but in my personal life, I don't eat meat. So like as a
Mm-hmm.
way, as you know what I'm saying, just like naturally certain things that we do in the community are
Yep.
mostly based off home traditions, you know,
Yeah.
or personal disciplines that we have. And it's
Yes.
kind of a way, taking those things that you do at home but trying to share it with the community and try to make a better world.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge, especially in the atmosphere of now with the pandemic, taking care of yourself. And I'm sure you've had many, if they've even tried it, just a little bit of not eating meat, you notice a difference in your body. So it's not really something you convince yourself. Again, people can argue all day, whatever, but we know a lot of times in our culture, we're eating the wrong way and it just doesn't feel good. So, the more we can do to build up our own immunities. I mean, again, if we can't get to the adults, let's start with the young people, and then they will begin to grow that movement. And that's okay,
Facts.
because they are like sponges, and we need to have good people like yourself to get to them first. Yeah, yeah. So wow. Okay, so let me get through to give me like a couple or one or challenge that just kind of stays out in your mind of even either getting this together or whatever area you want to sustaining it, whatever area you want to go to say what kind of
Man,
challenge.
we yeah that like yeah, because there's a million
Right,
challenges you're gonna run into when you're doing this. Because of course a lot of this, man, like a lot of this work we do is just from the heart. You know what I'm saying? It's not,
right.
and man, it's really from the heart. It's not really a dollar amount you can give me to say, hey, go do this. And this is really everybody who's here really wants to be here. But anyway, excuse me, two challenges that we had. I would have to say is building our board. That was a
Mhm.
challenge,
Mhm.
because it's very difficult to. It's like you can get a spurt of inspiration, and some people aren't able to commit or able to be consistent,
Right.
and that throws off the momentum of the
Mhm.
organization as it's being developed. Especially when you're trying to expand the infrastructure so you can truly execute.
Mhm.
Um, I would say building our board, and I would say software was also just understanding, like as a person who's not like aware at all of
Mhm.
like using Microsoft and QuickBooks and Trello and all these different apps and all these different
Mhm.
software, all these different types of software that you got to use, and also just like integrating it with the website and
Mhm.
that whole that whole process, making sure that you got people
Mhm.
can't hack into your stuff, like
Mhm.
just all the intricacies of that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, that kind of took us a minute. That took me a minute, I would definitely say,
Mhm.
um, uh, to really grasp and hold on to. Um, yeah, that's two challenges that we
Okay.
dealt with. But
Okay.
like, it takes a team, and I would really say get people on your team who are experts.
Yeah.
Get people on your team who are, uh, get to know people better,
Yep.
fill them out, you know, and also when you're bringing them, when you're bringing people into the table, make sure that you're bringing them in properly. You get what I'm saying? Make sure you
Yep.
understand what you bringing them into, um, because that saves a lot of different hurdles. That saves a lot of different relationships. You know what I'm saying?
It
Because
does.
that's very important. So, um, yeah,
Now
yeah,
you did very well. You helped me out because I have a hard time with a lot of times, and you're no different than many that start off, and it has nothing to do with a race or anything. But most people that start off, we always see the larger organization, Salvation Army, Goodwill, all of those. But understand, you guys, everybody started off the same way, and just the
facts.
adversities that you go through, because we tend to disconnect understanding that that same job that we came off of, now you are that job. Now you have to have those policies and procedures. And we've worked together. My challenge, I guess, with everybody is who I want to help often don't have the money because I have to survive. And then,
Right.
then over here, so even myself, I find myself looking for grant money so I can go and just help people. And then when it gets to that point, we're okay, because that is the biggest challenge of, like you said, that building that team, understanding that, because this is when I started 20 some years ago. I mean, it was hard. I wanted professional people, but then I found out everybody that's professional has a degree, don't have the real heart of the mission.
Ain't that true?
I said
Fact.
25 years ago, right? Like it's
Right.
never changed. So then you become like a job. I tell some people, put some things on LinkedIn, and then I don't want to be on social media. But you know what? At the end of the day, a lot of times you have to go outside of your circle to find it. And that's
Yeah.
another reason why I wanted to do this platform. And I'm glad you're doing yours, because we kind of cut through the chase and clear the air of getting the right people. It's a numbers
Right.
game. And then when you have those processes and procedures, you do just like a job. You don't make it where it's for a lifetime. You have that voting, and you make sure you use that voting. And a lot of times what you're doing is building up to be a real leader. So that means that when those processes are in place and you're able to implement, then you can go duplicate, and it can scale up whether you're there or not. And that's where we all want to get to where we're making that impact, independent of us. At first it's dependent of us, but growing to be
Hmm.
independent of us. So I personally am proud of it, because I've seen the difference. I've seen the emails change. I've seen like the communication change. Because I love systems. So I was little and I like to pretend like I'm this big corporation. So software, I love it.
You have a great operation for real.
Thank you.
You have
Thank you.
I definitely
I'm
take
trying.
notes.
I'm trying. Look, I just hired my first virtual assistant. I was like, I have to give them something to do. They're not gonna work on their own. I was like, oops, policies and procedures. So,
Right.
we
And
all
happy
have
New
a
Year's
level.
too.
Hmm.
And happy New Year's to you and yours. Happy New Year's to you and your
Yes.
family.
Happy New Year's. Yes, yes, yes. So, I tell everybody we're just gonna do better than whatever we were yesterday. Don't even think about the
Yes.
year. Things happen, what have you. This is where the team building comes, to where there's so much to do now that you're more into software and getting to learn that, if COVID shut us down, do not stop. Because if anything is going to be open, it's going to be this internet. And I said the
Yep.
average kid still has a phone in their hand, so we still need to keep connected and make sure everybody is safe. If we don't do anything but check-ins and mentorship online, they need that. So yeah, I'm so proud of you. So, what is your greatest win? Like, even if it's something recent or whatever that you think is just a great win for recycle and reinvest.
Our greatest achievement, I would say, to this day is graduating our students this year. We started
Mm,
back programming with our Napier Eco Drip Squad.
I love
The
that.
Napier Eco Drip Squad is a squad of youth who are learning about food waste.
Okay.
And in this first pilot semester that we had this year,
Mm,
we completed a bottle cap collage, and we were able to get feedback on what they want to do, um, as far as with the food waste that is being wasted in the cafeteria, and what they want to do as far as the garden space that they
mm,
have in the outside lot. And we got a lot of great feedback on what they wanted to do. And we also host different educational, like low impact activities, such as
okay.
um, the bottle cap collage. And if you go to our Instagram, you can see that art piece that we did.
Okay.
We're going to try to get them to hang it up so people can see. It's basically like a logo made out of a bunch of bottle caps. And
That's cool.
we meet like once a week, every Wednesday for an hour.
Okay.
um, and we were able to, like I said, it was a lot going on this year between the pandemic and
Hmm.
kids in a school, out school. So it was like we were able to actually complete the pilot, and we have a recap video we'll be doing, to kind of share with the people what we've been doing
Good.
with them.
Good. Hmm.
How Urban Green Lab is sponsoring us for this food waste program that we're hosting at the Napier Elementary School. So I would have to say that's our greatest achievement,
Yeah.
And also securing strategic partnerships. I would say
Yeah.
is definitely a achievement for Recycle Reinvest last
Yeah.
year and going forward.
Okay.
Because in order for us to truly, like, track our work and create greater impact, we have to
Uh-huh.
develop these partnerships and
Hmm.
yeah, stay consistent.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. So, I know we said we're going to touch on it, but I have to. I must. Can I let them hear just a little of your story, like just a little about before recycle, reinvest,
You talking
please?
about when I got locked when I was locked up, I got out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got locked up when I was 15 and I got out when I was 22. And I got out back in 2000 and I got out back in 2013, 14, 2014. I want to say I got out in
Wow.
2014 and I had what happened. I think like after that, like I was out for like 2 years. And my
Mhm.
start, how we actually got our start in the community is doing block parties. Doing
Mm.
block parties. The block party is called Bang for Liberation. So uh, some of the homies, basically like me and the homies, we started these block parties because we was like tired of going to the club. Like the club got boring, and like
Mhm.
I got like bad memories from like clubs, and like doing the
Mhm.
club scene. So it's
Mhm.
like whether that be somebody got killed or whatever, like I got terrible memories and stories. So it's like I wasn't feeling the club, and we was like we want to do a block party. We did a block
Mhm.
party. We did it out east because that's where I'm from.
Mhm.
um, we did it on right off Lishy and Sam Livy. And
Oh.
we did our first block party in 2016, Bang for Liberation. And we did the block party because we wanted to address gun violence, but we really didn't know how to get involved with the community. So we just did a block party. And
Okay.
now, fast forward, years later, I'm the director of Recycle Reinvest, and the homies are still here. They still support. They don't
Yeah.
wear the hats as many hats as I wear.
Right.
But they definitely here with me. But yeah, that's pretty much my story. Like I really
Okay.
started, my journey, I guess, of knowledge of self in the streets, and
Right.
then from the streets, I really matured and grew into a CEO and grew into an
Right.
entrepreneur. Um,
Wow. Wow.
yeah,
How does that sound to you?
that sounds
Have
great.
you absorbed that shit? Like, how does that sound to you?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't never really just think about it like that.
Right. Right.
I don't know. I never really just think about it like that. But I guess that's what makes me special, and also that's why I appreciate you. Get what I'm saying? Every position that I'm in, and every
Mhm.
relationship that I'm able to come across, and
Right.
every person I'm able to work with. You get what I'm saying? Because like I knew when I got out, I was on something. Like I was committed. Like I was on a mission for real. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
like I was like,
Mhm.
ain't nothing about to get my way. Ain't
Mhm.
nobody about to like slow me down. That I'm like, I was determined. I'm still determined. You get what I'm
Okay.
saying? Because it's like
Okay.
I've already been the backwards way,
Uh-huh.
like three,
Uh-huh.
4 times. You get what I'm saying? And
Okay.
man, like that's just a waste. That's just such a waste. You know what I'm saying? Of my
Yeah.
time, my energy, my like
Yeah.
everything. And it's like everything I'm really just focused on the future, and I'm focused on, man, creating more uh positive and healthy relationships.
Yeah.
You know,
So
for
I
real.
just, and reason I'm bringing that out is because I hear it's still, I cringe when I hear it. There's no hope for our youth. They're just stupid. I hear it all the time. And sometimes they may not mean anything, but the fact that we're going to encompass everybody and say that, if that was true, we
Right.
wouldn't have a Jaffee Judah. You know what I
Right.
mean? If that was really true. And no, we don't know when that transition is happening, but at least give them an example, so when they will
Hmm.
have a choice, they really will see a choice. And I think we have to do more of that, because you made up somebody else's mind. Even us being on here, somebody's going to see this, some young person will see this, even an older person that hadn't got it right, and this is going to change their mind, because there's always somebody looking, somebody watching. And I always say it's a tribe for us out there. So when we make those right choices, then that tribe will come. So,
Facts. It's very
again,
that's very true.
yeah, yeah. And to these
Cause
young people, I'm telling you, you don't have to. And I know there's another message I always hear too, is that see, I wanted to say too that you're stronger because of it, but I still say if there was an example that you could get that could say, my brother, my son, right there, maybe you didn't have to make that choice. Because I want to tell these young people, you don't have to make the mistakes. So I gave an
Yeah.
example the other day to someone. I said, it's like if I've already crawled and I'm walking, you don't need to crawl. Let me pick you up until you can walk. And we forget that they say everybody has to crawl, but they don't have to crawl. We can pick them up. We really
Yeah.
can. And then let them walk. Fall down a few times if they will, but if they don't, we can't make that a blueprint for making it in life.
Right.
You
Right.
have to, you can't. I mean, because everybody's at different levels. So again, you're showing this to be true that we can just pick up and go. And all the young people, I want to say, reach out. If any of the adults are looking on here and you have some teenagers or some young people, I'm sure Jaffee doesn't mind, reaching out. If nothing else, he got referral sources. Just even just to talk to the child. I mean, we
Straight up.
never know. We can't take that for advantage of that or take it for granted
Hmm.
that our words, that energy, that vibration, right?
I agree. I totally agree because, you know, like I had a plan. Like I said, I got locked up and I got out when I was 22. But
Mhm.
I've been in and out of jail, you know what I'm saying, since I've been out. But it's never been for nothing. And it's mainly been because of the charge that I caught back then is affecting me
Mhm.
now. You get what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
uh, but I would say having my plan, you know what I'm saying? I had a plan when
Yeah.
I got out. So I was like, no matter what happens, I know I'm gonna do X, Y,
Yeah.
Z.
Get back up.
And yeah,
Yeah.
right. And
Yeah.
it's like you gotta definitely have that plan, and you definitely gotta have, like you said, the right tribe around you.
Right.
But at the same time, my tribe came from me just living it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And me just trying
Yeah.
each day and look asking questions like, yo, I don't understand this, and like I need this, and it happens, you know.
Yeah.
And eventually you figure it out, you know.
And more will come.
Yes,
The more you learn, the more will come. The more we all get to a point, then the tribe gets bigger, bigger, and bigger because that tribe transitions. You got an old tribe that's going to transition when you transition, and then you have a new tribe that's just waiting, and they can't come in your life until you get to that level, and then they come. I thank God for your humbleness and I think that's who the universe God uses is people that are going to maintain that humbleness. It's a struggle for me trying to, on the professional level, just saying, okay, leader, okay, I get it. It's from the heart, but we got to have balance. Don't ever lose. I tell all my people, do not lose the street sense. Do not. Because all we've done is we put a suit on it. At the end of the day, the focus is on the community that we're serving. And that's it. That's
mm-hmm.
all that matters. But people are people. I don't care. We call it blue collar, white collar, whatever you want to call it, collar. It's still that
Right.
street stuff. It's all the same. So again, I know your challenges, you've gone through them, but what they say on every level, there's still another.
Devil. No, that's the truth.
And I'll just say adversities. It is. And once you get it
Yeah.
in your mind, you want to keep straight. You fall back. And sometimes, I think when you're falling back, it is for people to see, not the ones what we call the haters, but it's for the people that you don't know where they're going to end up. And how can we talk to someone? How can you be an example if you haven't gone back in there? So
Fact.
maybe that was that time. Now you're in there from the outside and
Very
going in
true.
there.
And
Yeah.
I'm able to, and I love the fact that I'm able to be like, yo, when you get out, hit up my organization, we do XYZ. You get what I'm
Yep.
saying? So it's like I also learned like you can't tell children don't do something and not give them something else to do.
Right.
Like if you telling them, hey, don't pick up the sack, you need to also be like, look, now go over here because this is the job, or you need to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
or otherwise they're gonna go back to pick up the sack.
Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta
Exactly.
replace it if you're gonna take it.
And if we think about it as adults, that's all of us. You can't, if I'm
Facts.
trying to survive, you have to give me something legal that's not $4 an hour, not $5 an hour,
Right.
but give me something. If it's not for me, I always talk about ownership a lot of times. Let's just get into business if you can't get a job. And it's important for the
Mm-hmm.
young people to understand that, even if you go to college, you need to have some kind of skill that you can make your money on the side as well, because there's plenty of things and they just have to be shown that. So Okay, I think we covered. Let me see. What's coming up next? Anything within the next quarter or so that you all are gonna have for just even the general public?
Yes, so we got two events coming up on February 14th. We're doing a
Mhm.
paint party
Mm.
fundraiser with Art Urban.
Oh,
Um, that's y'all. I'll have information out within 2 weeks. Excuse
okay,
me. Within 2 weeks, we'll start promoting that.
okay,
It'll be from 7 to 9 p.m.
okay.
Excuse me, I had a burp. And then we have April 21st, Earth Day, our first
Hmm.
community cleanup of
Okay,
the season of the year. Um,
okay,
After that, we'll be doing community cleanups every fourth or last Sunday out south and every second Sunday out north.
okay.
So we got about 14 community cleanups. If you can't make one,
I
hey,
know
we
I'm gonna
got
have to try
plenty
to make that.
more
I'm gonna
coming.
have
We out
to.
here. But other than that, you can go to the website and you can get in contact with us, or you can follow up. And we keep our events posted on our news and events page, or we're pretty consistent on our social media site. So
Yeah.
definitely stay tuned as a way for if you want to come out and support the event, or if you want to be a participant in a cleanup, or you
Hmm.
want to just sign up for a potential mentoring position. All that information is on recyclereinvest.org.
Yes, yes. I'm so proud of you.
Thank
I
you.
am. I am. I am. That's how it's supposed to end, you know? So when we close this out, whatever they do, if they go on social media or they go on the website, they still can find you. We should not make it hard for people to find and be able to serve. So that's
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
great. That's great. All right. Anything else I left out or you might want to say at the end?
Man, I hope you have a strong and prosperous week. I want to say thank you for this opportunity to
Yes.
get more exposure on your platform and share your space. I appreciate that. And
You're welcome.
man, I look forward to the future and us growing
Okay.
together.
Okay. Can I put you on the spot for some words? Some
For sure.
something? Something? Whatever you want to
Oh, you talking about like some word, like a freestyle or something? A few words.
do.
I leave y'all with this. Penny for your thoughts, stack bills by adding tokens. Bang for liberation, conceal minds never get noticed. People in my position don't make it to my position for the lack of confidence, support, little ambition. I gave God my pen and the devil my pad so he could right the wrongs from a hustler's past. I give my all to God and whatever you had. Make it rain to flood earth, watch me float into heaven. I was hungry for success, but never greedy for seconds. Gave more than what I took and stayed realer than most. So when
Mm.
I die, I live on and celebrate with a toast. Mic check 1 2. Yes, the stage is mine. Help hop save my life at the age of 9. Biggie Smalls tape deck at the age of 5. Now I'm A&E consultant, interview live. Woo, with the freestyle at the end. You hear me? Yeah, man.
All that.
Yes, ma'am.
All that. I was about to let that slide. I said, wait a minute. I got the person on here.
Yeah, with the A
Okay,
and
you
E
guys see what I'm talking about now.
for
Yeah.
sure. I
Yeah.
this is
That's
real
it.
fun. I can't wait
Thank
to the
you.
next one.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm just gonna end with that. You guys follow them, please follow the organization, see what it does. If you're in the Nashville area or not, or about to come to it in the spring, whatever, look us up. Say hello, drop some money, drop some coins on them. So it should on Recycle Invest, you have a way to donate and all of that, right?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, you
So do.
guys. I mean, as much as we don't want to talk about the money, that's the only thing. He can't do it for free. He can't. He has to still make a living too. So if he's going to give his time for our youth and things that we can't do or don't have time to do, that's another way to do it. It's the end of the year. Usually a business has about till the middle of January to the end of January. They still can donate and it will apply to the previous year. So not a tax account, no CPA, but you guys, that's a fact. That's what nonprofits, that's what structure is for. So you'll be able to donate. You still get that advantage financially as well. So, all right. Well, thank you so much again. And everybody, have an awesome rest of the week. Make it beyond
Peace.
blessed. Peace.
Indeed.